United States of America and to the republic, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Supervisor Turner? Here. Clerk Straub is here. Treasurer Bochamp, excused.
Was she here today?
No, she was sick. She was just put on antibiotics. Trustee Howard?
Here.
And Trustee Petkowski.
Here.
Approval of the agenda, any deletions or subtractions from the agenda? Seeing as none, I'll make a motion to approve as presented. I got all three of you, which one wants it?
Whatever, I don't care.
I'll second.
Moved by Turner, seconded by Straub, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. First citizens' time agenda items only. None. Approval of March 9th, 26 minutes. Nothing. I'll make a motion to approve as presented.
I'll second that.
Moved by Turner, seconded by Howard, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Approval of March 9th closed session court case. You guys wanna take a look at them? We can't publicly, they have to be sealed.
I already seen it.
You already seen it?
Yeah, I showed that before. And then they get destroyed after a year.
After a year, yeah. I'll make a motion to approve closed session for March 9th as presented.
Second.
Moved by Turner, seconded by Pinkowski. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. What we got next? Approval of March 23rd, 26th, closing of the books minutes. I checked all the numbers, it looks good. I'll make a motion to approve as presented.
Second.
Moved by Turner, seconded by Pinkowski. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried. Supervisors report. We got our final design for our play equipment for our playground. The build dates are May 28th, 29th, and 30th. We need 20 people for the first 2 days and about 40 for the final day, which is on a Saturday. We're looking for people that can help and bring tools. I have a tool list that I'm gonna put out there in case somebody wants to loan us some other tools. If anyone would like to make a monetary donation to buy some of the tools that are needed, please let me know. If anyone is interested in helping, please reach out to me or any board member. I'd like to see a good turnout for our park. It's all grant funded, there's no cost to the township, and I think we
It's
got
privately grant.
privately grant funded, yeah. And I think we actually got donation for food for that Saturday.
For that Saturday, I've got Hungry Howie's is gonna, donate and deliver, pizzas.
That's great. Thanks, Dawn, for your
Yep.
work. Still looking at June for the BSNA Cloud live date to go to BSNA Cloud, and that's all I have.
I'll make a motion to accept the supervisor's
second that.
report.
Moved by Straub, seconded by Howard, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Treasurer's report, there's none. Clerk's report.
Yep, I have got that on Tuesday, May 5th. We do have an election. It's just for the Dundee School District because it's the Monroe County ISD millage renewal. We will be here from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, May 2nd, we will be here from 8 to 4. And that's anybody that wants to get registered to vote. Make sure that they are registered to vote, and if they want an absentee ballot, if they need notary services, anything like that, we will be here. That's it.
I'll make a motion to approve the clerk's report.
Second.
Moved by Turner, seconded by Pinkowski, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Building department reports. Have a total of, she did them all separate.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, at a total of 5 building permits, at a cost of $1,415. Total of 2 mechanical permits at a cost of $310. 2 plumbing permits at a cost of $573.
On the front page,
takes off something, I noticed that before in another one that they had.
No, I didn't change it, it's fine.
That's the construction value, cause it's a
See what I'm talking about?
demolition.
I'm talking about right there, see how it has a total construction value.
Unknown caller.
Sorry.
Oh, you mean she didn't put the .00?
No, just the, see, 109,420, it's missing a zero.
Oh, okay,
I mean, you really don't need to change, I guess, as long as it's an even number.
okay.
So it was actually $2,019 for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 permits.
2000,
9 permits for $2,019.
I'll make a motion to approve the building department report.
I'll second that.
Moved by Turner, second by Howard, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Assessors reports. Completed March Board of Review, mailed out March Board of Review decision notices, submitted the assessment roll to county equalization, rolled over database, began 2027 assessment process, processing sales via recorded documents and property transfer affidavits, approval and denial of exemptions, responding daily to residents' requests, processing split combination requests and applications.
Can we ask also to have any kind of like complaints, just to see if there's, keep track of,
Have her
People are
put on here,
complaining.
you mean?
it's like a part of it, you see what I mean?
So
Kinda how
add,
Mike does, like, if people have complaints, and they don't necessarily have to have names or whatever, but maybe the road or whatever.
so add complaints that she
I
gets.
would, yeah.
Okay. And we'll ask her to do that. Do you mean complaints against her or just complaints?
Just complaints in general,
Okay.
I guess, not necessarily about her, because I can't say if she, you know what I mean, that
Right.
wouldn't be right.
So if she gets a complaint from a resident, you want her to?
Yeah,
note
like just
those.
about like the assessment, you see what I mean?
Okay. Alright, I'll make a motion to approve the assessor's report.
I'll second.
Moved by Turner, seconded by Straub, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. CA reports.
Actually,
I
you
didn't,
said that, right?
Yeah.
Did you send it to Dawn?
I didn't see
Did
it.
not.
No,
Let me run
Do you-
out
I
and-
just had
Was
it
it with
pulled
your
up.
time sheet?
It was after that.
I should have checked with you when you came
I
in.
Oh,
know.
it's my fault, I should have sent it to you. I just had it pulled up too, and now I can't find it.
Do you have it pulled up?
I did, it went away. I was looking at something else and now I can't find it.
Should've checked on that when he came in.
I didn't look at my packet either, cause usually you get the number, so I don't usually look at it.
After you do his reports, do you wanna just go to the fire chief so that you don't have to sit through all of it? You know what I mean?
He's not on the agenda.
Oh, I'm just here. I'm gonna try and make a point of coming to more meetings, just.
Oh, okay, I didn't know, I didn't know if he had something underneath the fire fund or whatever, I didn't know for sure.
He's just blessing us with his program.
Oh, okay. That's good.
Be nice to see you when it's good news, or I'm not asking for something.
Yeah, and asking for more money.
Mhm. Yeah.
You're just working your way up to it. It's like my son keeps coming in acting all nice, and I'm joking.
I see your
And
sister-in-law
always
got
use more
engaged,
money,
huh?
right?
What's that?
I see your sister-in-law got
Yeah,
engaged.
finally. Yeah.
How long they been together?
About a year and a half, I wanna say. They were friends, they were almost dating in like 2017, and then, he lived in, Atlanta, and they didn't never wanna get together because they, you know what I mean, being so far apart. And then whenever he ended up moving back here, then they ended up getting back together or whatever, so. It's pretty cool, I guess. They do pretty good together. Their house is huge. There's like 3 times the size of mine.
No.
Yeah,
Where do they live at?
they're up there, Milford.
Oh, okay.
He like is lost in this house. And so,
No.
yeah. Yeah, I think it's like 5,000 or 5,500 square foot or something.
Yeah.
It's huge.
How many bedrooms?
I don't even know. They probably, well, it has a whole downstairs, that's like 2 or 3, and then, I don't even know, I'd say like 7, I guess, I don't know, maybe more, I don't know. It's a lot. Just 2 of them. They both work from home, so 2 of the rooms are their offices. I think they work out, or, yeah.
I don't know if I could work from home. I don't know if I'd get it much done.
Yeah.
You'd have to be dedicated.
I love working
I've
from
done it
home.
14 years.
My daughter does it. She loves it.
I bet they do. My wife does too, and so does my assistant, but I think a little differently. I think that they'd be getting more done in office.
But my daughter has an office, you know, above her pool house, so yeah, she dedicates, go to work, you know, kind of
Yeah.
thing. So, yeah, I'd have to do that, or if not, I wouldn't.
Exactly, yeah, if you're like
Just a
sitting
bedroom in
there-
my house, I probably would never make it.
Yeah, 'cause you think you walk back, oh, I need to do the laundry
Yeah.
or whatever, you know, that's what ends up happening. My wife, she gets caught up doing a lot of,
My office is in my living room and it's like, my house is a mess because it's like I get up in the morning, I sit there and that's it.
you know.
I'd love to have just a room or something to go into, but
See, I'd have to, or I wouldn't get nothing done.
yeah,
You gotta be able to close the door.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't get nothing done.
But see, I have a nice window, so if the other room, if I had it set up in the other room, I wouldn't have a window. It's like, nope. If I'm working from home, I gotta have a window.
It's not bad. You just lose track of hours, that's all,
Yeah,
working from home.
yep.
And then the kitchen being close.
Yeah.
That's the other vice. That's the other vice.
Yeah, she has to walk from the pool house to the house to eat lunch, so. Yeah.
I just miss social interaction.
That would be me too. I don't know.
Yeah. We have a conference call every morning, but it's just, my social time's going to the store, grocery shopping.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be mine again too.
Too many inboxes.
I actually
Find
think
it?
it gives you more
Does
flexibility.
she need help?
You
You know,
throw
she's
a
got
load in
it.
the laundry.
I sent it
or
from,
Yeah,
Put dishes
whatever
in
job I
the
was-
dishwasher
yeah,
in
not
between.
sure what box it sent it from.
And then your
or where it
commute
went to.
time is gone, so you get that back.
yeah, and you're saving, you're saving on fuel and everything else.
It didn't collate.
Let me get it, Anita.
Hey, I can do
Oh,
that.
gosh.
It's just 1 page, right?
Let me give Penny hers and she can start reading.
Okay, ZA reports. April 2026. Resumed working full hours early last month following recent completion of medical treatments, family, and other obligations. Zoning activities, investigated and advised owners on low flooded parcels, possible land use restrictions on Oakville, Waltz, and Hoffman. Reviewed site plans on Wanty, Henry, and Plank Roads. Researched and advised on land use on Hoffman, Wanty, Grams, Tuttle Hill, and Townsend. Assisted owners on special use applications on Townsend and Wanty roads. Finalized building use forms with building manager. Ordinance activities, followed up on Borstal Barn compliance measures with building and attorney. Investigating possible new unpermitted barns on Darling and Yench roads. Investigated new blighted properties on Plank, Ostrander, Yench, and Opie roads. Investigating a possible code violation on Darling Road causing flooding on neighboring parcel. Re-inspected several previous violation parcels and followed up with attorney and or owners as appropriate. Met with and or advised multiple property owners on their blight conditions and progress. Late change, suspended dilapidated building demolition abatement efforts on multiple structures and working to coordinate possible use for local fire department training instead. Court cases, unpermitted barn Borstal, no change, countersuit dropped, owner continued working on corrections again with ZA and building department. Large extraction Plank and Okie, no change, complaints against the township closed, but ZA and PC co-chair both testified after multiple postponements. Unpermitted barn Tuttle Hill, no change, owner removed the unpermitted barn per court order. Unpermitted barn Ostrander, no change, township attorneys are seeking summary disposition and remaining owner counterclaims and a court ordered abatement of the structure with discovery and depositions from the current ZA. Deposition postponed. Former London ZA was deposed, details pending. Thanks, Mike Navarro. And I, just as an update, I got an email today from Bondi, the Plank and Okie jury trial is, it got finished up. That one's done.
I have a couple questions on some of these like abandoned structures.
Yeah,
Is there a way we could do controlled burns since both you guys are here to?
that's
ask
what
questions?
That's what we're working on.
that was the
Was that
last
what it was?
paragraph of that section.
That's actually what it was. Oh,
Yeah, I
okay,
just
cool.
sent a bunch of information.
Yeah, one of the, captains or lieutenants.
Lieutenant, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That'd be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
We need
Yeah,
to-
yeah, I mean, I was,
Go ahead.
I was literally sending off the notices to Carrie and,
Yeah, I'd seen something in here, but I didn't know if that was like, if, you know.
yeah, yeah.
Working
Yeah,
together.
he reached out to me and I told him I'm sure we do because I knew you were working on some, so I.
Yeah, I've got a lot.
That'd be awesome.
I don't know how many will be
How does-
useful, but they're, hopefully they looked at them today.
But how does that, for like the foundation and everything, you can't just leave the foundation there? Cause that'll get rid of the
Well, you know,
construction.
I figure either way, we're cutting down on our labor and doing something useful.
Yeah. and
So
then
I don't,
property price
you know,
will
there's not
go
gonna be a magic bullet, but this may save us, you know, court costs and,
Yeah, I'm glad you are here, 'cause I mean, so like, when you guys get done with that, how do you,
Well,
you guys
actually,
just
we
leave
still
it how
have
it
work
is
to
and then we clean up after that, or do you guys, do a little bit of cleanup or how?
So typically we work with property owner versus the municipalities. We haven't done much with the municipalities so far. That'd be a discussion point going into it. We probably, as we burn them, we try and collapse the building into the foundation
Sure.
after we're done with them. So we would collapse it into the foundation, allow it to smolder, burn down. We'd monitor it for a few days until it's safe, and at that point it'd be for the township to finish up the removal.
so far, all of these have court orders to remove them. I'm talking to some owners on some others and, trying to see exactly what might be needed. Some might be used for training and then not burnt down, I don't know, you know, and then.
Do you guys have to like check to see if it has asbestos? Or?
Yeah, we have a packet. We have to file with Eagle, and asbestos abatement removal is part of that packet.
Okay, cool. So would we have to have it removed before you come in then?
Yeah, it has to be removed before we can do it. We can train in it, but at the same point, it has to be removed before it can be demoed anyway.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, I got you. Cool, thanks.
I'll make a motion to approve the ZA report.
I'll second.
Moved by Turner, seconded by Straub. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. PC report.
Okay, I have a few things. One of them was they did do the public hearing, last month. I had to go up north, but they did do the, public hearing for the data center. I believe that you guys, they had a lot of good feedback. Then we also started the data center ordinance. I think it's going pretty well. I think there'll still be a few questions for the board, you know, but I guess we'll wait till the time comes, really. I mean, it's kinda early in the stages still, so. And then, the ZA. I know that a lot of the planning commission members are really wanting the ZA to get a little, or maybe try to get more hours, or get, you know, they're wanting more stuff done, and trying to figure out between Mike's time and, you know, whatever it takes to try to meet some of the demand.
Is the recording secretary helping out with PC stuff pretty good, or?
She was, she hasn't been available because of family issues, the last couple of times, but that's not, you know, I don't see that as that's not just a temporary thing,
No, I'm just gonna say.
yeah. No, that's
So,
good.
yeah, so that's one thing. I don't know if you wanna talk more into depth with that. And then the last thing,
It's on the agenda.
or actually, I'll have a couple more, but one of them is that I really wanted to bring up, and I talked to Doug. I mean, he canceled a vacation and everything for the lawsuit. That kinda, I don't know, you know, I mean, that's for this board's decision, to get paid for it possibly. He mentioned that before, whenever some of them, you know, got closed.
We've always
that-
paid, if it's in the capacity of doing their, like the planning commission job, we've always paid under payroll.
Yeah, no, I just wanna make sure that they get reimbursed, both of
Well,
them,
if
Mike
you're-
and.
If you're summited by, you know, somebody, they should be paying it, not the
Well,
township.
Not
thing is, the
necessarily,
reason
it's
why
still
some-
for the
As far as I'm
township.
concerned, they're acting on behalf of the township. I
Yeah,
don't care
because-
who's
Right,
pays them.
exactly.
They would've never
Testify.
subpoenaed them if they weren't.
Exactly, if they weren't part of the township.
See what I
Yeah.
mean? Now, if it was just
So,
a
I
random
mean, so-
person and that was, you know, that'd be a little different, but the reason why they had to go there is to try to explain the rules of the township and stuff like that. I would assume that's why they were there, cause why else would they,
That
why else
was-
would
that
they're not
was
gonna
exactly
just
why we
pull
were
somebody
there.
randomly, you know what I mean? So, they were there
Because of
because,
the,
you know what I mean?
employee
So,
of the
they're
township.
already taking their time out. We don't make very much money how it is to be on a planning commission.
Mike, was it
and then-
one of your normal work days, so you got paid
Yeah,
anyway?
yeah, that was normal hours.
Yeah, and I don't know who got paid what. I just
Yeah.
want to make sure, especially that both of them were, you know what I mean, paid
Compensated for their time,
exactly.
it's their
Because I feel
time.
like if they weren't working for the township, they wouldn't have been there.
Correct.
You know what I mean? So I don't know exactly what to do about the pay. I know that it was brought up, and I said I'd definitely bring it to the board, and I really
We've always paid them in the past.
and that's kind of what, you know, we kind of create a precedent on how to do that, you know. So I feel like we should definitely do it, you know, but that's up to
I
you
think we
guys.
pay them the lowest pay rate.
$17 an hour,
$17,
yeah,
yeah.
and it's not the pay rate that we get at, the beginning of the year.
It's just a flat 17.
Correct, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you could talk to Doug and Mike and figure that out
I
and
think,
bring it to
Pat-
us, or if you just want.
I think we made a motion back, I think the first time, or it's been a while, I know it's been a couple years.
I think it was when I was, or at least Kim was in, that, because Doug was spending so much time in court, and, yeah.
And I
So it
think
was
we-
like the lowest
So do we have
paid.
to make an extra motion to, or,
I don't think so, cause I think it's already been, it's past president, we've always paid them
I mean,
$17 an hour.
I just wanna, I don't know,
We
I just wanna
can,
make
if you
sure.
wanna make it official again, but I think,
I mean, I wouldn't even
Send
say
it back.
official, but I just mean the amount of hours that they did, so that, I don't know if we need to approve that or not, you know what I mean, cause it's money, I
I'd
don't
like to
know.
see if we have a resolution, but I vaguely remember that, us possibly doing that.
yeah, I know we did, but I don't remember how far back.
And does it say like up to a certain amount, or you guys just automatically do
Well,
it?
let's see where.
As long as it's in there, I'm fine with it. I just wanna make sure, you know what I mean, and just make sure that, you know, I mean, they might not.
I really think it was under,
I know we paid him before, we
Yeah,
paid
it
him
was-
before.
it was
He
17
submitted his hours to
No.
me, I submitted to Kim under payroll as
Yeah.
part of his planning commission role.
Okay.
And,
It was like the lowest paid employee, which was $17 an hour.
so because there's two ways that you can look at it. Are you subpoenaed by, like, so like, say like Carrie subpoenas them saying, hey, we need you to go, I can see that as township stuff. But if it's on the other side of the table,
No,
then
they're
it's
still an
subpoenaed.
employee of the township. They wouldn't be there but
Yeah.
for being part of the township,
Well, and
in
then,
my opinion.
yeah, that's how I feel about it too, I mean, It doesn't matter which side subpoenas them, they're acting on behalf of the township
Yeah,
and their
they're supposed-
capacity as a planning commissioner.
I'm pretty sure Carrie sent us the subpoenas too.
I thought so too, but
They
I
were
didn't
served
wanna
by our
escape.
attorney.
Right.
Yeah, because if I had to go through her too, because.
And our presence wasn't optional, it was, you know.
Right, no, if you're subpoenaed,
Appear
you're
on
subpoenaed,
behalf
or
of
you're
the
gonna go to.
township in your, you know, capacity as a township employee.
Right.
I'll make a motion to approve paying, Mike is a mute point because he was working anyway, but,
Correct.
paying Doug Darling, he submitted his hours, I think it was like, oh gosh, I can't remember. 20 maybe?
I did pay him.
Yeah. The $17 an hour
It
for
was
his court
17.
time.
It was 17, but I don't remember how many hours.
I wanna say it was 20, no, it was 20 something.
Is that what the lowest paid person is in? Okay.
Yeah, 17 hours an hour.
Yeah.
So,
So I'll make the motion to approve Doug Darling's, compensation at $17 an hour for his court.
I'll second that.
Moved by Turner, supported by Howard. Let's do a roll call, please.
Just a second, to write this down. His hours at $17 an hour.
And I know he got subpoenaed several times and then got canceled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he goes down there, right?
Yeah.
If you
No,
go
I
down there,
I think he
then-
got
I think we each
canceled
went down there twice and testified once, or actually I think he testified over 2 days, but showed up another time and got canceled at least once.
Okay. Supervisor Turner,
Yes.
Clerk Strad, yes. Melissa Bochamp is excused. Trustee Howard
Yes.
and Trustee Pankowski.
No.
Motion
Motion
carries. You got anything else?
Not much. I know that Doug and Leroy's been working a lot on the ordinances, trying to see which ones were approved correctly and kind of, you know, getting them back to us to, you know, I mean, they're already done, but getting them back and kind of straighten it out, make sure that it's approved correctly and everything was done right. So.
Yeah, he's been coming in on Thursdays and.
Yeah, he's been working a lot.
So, he's
And,
working on it.
Yeah. So yeah, he was getting a little frustrated about the technology. He was having a hard time figuring out where they're at and stuff like that, you know. But I mean, I'm not here, so I don't really know. But I told him that we're switching to a cloud, so you know, we'll see. You know, it might get better, it might get worse. I don't know.
I know, I looked up, luckily I had some on file that I keep on my computer, so I was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he come in and got some of them worked
But yeah,
out.
some of those that I think that we should get back approved and get them back and make sure they get, you know, public and, you know, public hearings.
Anita and I-
Actually, I think we already did it. Oh, no,
Yeah.
I don't think we have to do another public hearing, right?
No.
Yeah,
no.
we just have to.
You can do as many public hearings as you want.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it was already done. I'm just saying we don't have to start the process back over, I don't think.
All he's doing mainly is making sure that it was published correctly,
Yeah.
and we've been making sure that that's been happening. I don't know of any that wasn't so far.
You know. Yeah, other than that, that's
And
all.
he just wanted a list.
Yeah.
He likes his list.
Well, he wants, I mean, that's smart though.
Dot the
because
i's
they're
and
not
crossing
right,
the
And
t's.
then they're
especially
useless.
when they're changed.
Because then if we end up going to court like with some of this, and if they find a loophole and find that the ordinance was never correctly approved, then they
Yeah.
pretty much get away with it,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, he's on me with the publications and all that, so.
Yeah, so no, it's
Yeah,
good to
which
stay
is
on top
good,
of it.
yeah,
It's an audit trail.
yeah.
Sometimes
absolutely.
it's just a misnumbered, you know, put
Right.
in the wrong spot. It's crazy how
Yeah,
simple
it's a
some.
lot of little small things, but they add up.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's doing a good job on it.
But yeah, that's all I have though.
Okay. I read somewhere today too where there's a bill that's trying to get passed at the state to put a moratorium on data centers for a
Yeah,
while.
they've been doing that for a couple months, or, yeah, it's, yeah,
I don't know where it's at in the House.
yeah, they're trying to stop it for like a year, so do a statewide moratorium. Hopefully they pass it.
Make a motion to accept the planning commissioner's report.
I'll second that, moved by Pinkowski, seconded by Turner, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Only disbursements.
So with the general fund, the all our bills that we had was $11,123.96. With payroll, was $20,560.47, bringing the total disbursements of the general fund to $31,684.43. Fire was $9,330. We had nothing for the sewer. And all disbursements would be $41,014.43.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve disbursements from the general fund in the amount of $31,684.43.
Second?
Moved by Turner, second by Kowski. Roll call, please.
Supervisor Turner?
Yes.
Clerk Strad, yes. Treasurer Bochamp is excused. Trustee Howard?
Yes.
And Trustee Pankowski?
Yes.
Motion carried.
I'll make a motion to approve disbursements from the fire fund in the amount of $9,330.
Can I second? I'll second then.
Roll call.
Supervisor Turner?
Yes.
Clerk Strad, yes. Treasurer Bochamp is excused. Trustee Howard?
Yes.
And Trustee Pankowski?
Yes.
Nothing out of the sewer fund, so bring the total monthly expenses to $41,014.43. Unfinished business, spring cleanup dates and estimates. I can only get the trailer on May 9th. I know we put up, discussed 2 dates. So I'm, saying that our cleanup's gonna be May 9th between 9 and 3.
What was, you said May 9th?
Yep. And we've got 2 estimates for the cleanups. Stevens Disposal, 2 trucks, 2 containers would be $4,500. Fairway Disposal, 13-yard roll-off, 2 20-yard trucks, 2 employees, and 1 30-yard roll-off at $3,350. I'll make a motion to go with the Fairway Disposal at $3,350 for May 9th cleanup from 9 to 3.
I'll second.
Moved by Turner, seconded by Straub.
Supervisor Turner?
Yes.
Clerk Strad, yes. Treasurer Bochamp is excused. Trustee Howard?
Sustained.
Oh, okay. And Trustee Pankowski?
Yes.
Motion carries. May election budget.
That's me. I don't wanna, I know it was gonna be a smaller election and I don't need as many, employees, which we had the, election commission meeting the other day. However, because of our bags were expiring, I have 9 days of early voting for both August and November, which means I need 18 bags, for the 9 days of early voting for both of those. I'm gonna see if Exeter will help, pay for half of them. The bags alone are about $600 with what I needed and what the canvassers had to, certify. So I am gonna ask for $3,000, please.
How much, I'm sorry?
3,000. I
How
thought
many
I'd
bags did
be,
you say we had?
pardon me?
How many bags did you say we had?
Well, I had to order more because the bags that we have, I cannot get rid of until after, a month after November, because I have to wait 2 years and 1 month. So the bags that I have that are full, I cannot use, so I had to buy all brand new bags. And for our 9 days of early voting, that's 2 times. I'm gonna see if Exeter will help pay for half of those, because we are going in with them, so I had to buy 18 bags just for early voting. I had to pay 2 bags for August and November, because the canvassers come out only once or twice a year to certify them. They're only certified for 2 years. And then I had to have my testing bags for this election for August and November, and I had to have 3 carry-along bags that have the ballots in, so I had to order like almost 25 bags. So it's like close to $500 just for bags. Cause I was hoping I could go under this time, and then the because I know August and November, my budget's gonna be a lot more than 3,000, just with the payroll. But I got my bags at least, so we got
I
those.
think we budgeted enough, though, I think,
Yeah,
to cover it.
10,000, yeah.
All right, I'll make a motion to approve the May election budget at an amount of $3,000.
I'll second that.
Moved by Turner, second by Howard, roll call please.
Supervisor Turner,
Yes.
Clerk Strad, yes, Treasurer Bochamp excused, Trustee Howard,
Yes.
and Trustee Binkowski.
Yes.
Motion carries.
I put in a tech policy, this is one of the things, I'm still working on that, handbook, and this is one of the policies that need to be in there. It just basically says that employees will use the township internet and computers for employee or for township business only. And it talks about passwords, you have to make sure you have a good password, it talks about the software backup. But mainly not to use computers for personal use, mainly, that's what it boils down to.
What number are we gonna make it?
Let's see, we will do 2026-4-13. And this doesn't need to be published or anything, it's just a policy, and I'm still slowly getting
Now,
those.
is it a resolution or just a policy?
Just a policy, this didn't have to be a resolution.
Okay, but does it go in a resolution book maybe?
Yeah,
In the
I
front?
would.
Okay.
We should have a section for policies in there,
Yeah,
just so that we
good idea.
keep all those. But eventually, once I get all these done, I'm gonna do a handbook for all employees,
Yeah.
so that they have it.
So does everybody have to sign this, that
You will sign, what it's gonna be is, once I get all these policies in the handbook, you will sign a notice that you got your handbook and that you understood, and then we keep that on file.
It's for everybody or just the ones that use the computer?
It's
It'll
mainly
be
employees,
Everybody.
yeah.
Is it anybody that uses the internet? Because I had a gentleman that came in the other day that needed a DocuSign, had nothing to do with the township. He did not know how to do it, and he needed to get on our internet.
Mhm.
I'd say, no, because you're supervising them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, I'm the one who did it for him, and I just,
And I'm not saying that we have a problem with it, because we don't,
right.
but I'm just trying, I don't wanna get caught with them coming in and doing an audit when we don't have the stuff that we need.
Right.
So I'm trying to
You-
do
Or
it
they come in
most
and
You
see if
learn
we're
that
doing
stuff
all
at
kinds
that
of.
supervisors,
Okay, okay.
So I'm trying to get the most important ones done first, so that we know that we have them.
So hopefully everybody's windows are up.
Somebody's gonna have to hold my hand on the way out, I hate storms.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the tech policy.
Second.
Moved by Turner, second by Pinkowski, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Hourly employees' hours. I don't think, Darryl, you wanted that on there for the PCs?
For the people.
Our hourly employees are, I think, at 20 hours a week now.
For the CA, or what was it?
Hourly employees, like the ZA, the building secretary, the deputies are all at 20 hours a week, except for during election time and, tax time,
And Sexton, we really can't do.
because you never know.
hours on her.
So basically, we could see if we wanna up some of those
Right.
hours, or, or if some people
Right.
aren't hitting their amount or whatever.
Now, Mike, you do ZA and code enforcement. Do you feel that it would be better to divide those up? Do you think you could get more done that way, or
No,
keep it?
I don't think it's enough of a distinction, there is
There's not
some.
enough code
I
enforcement?
consider it too, it's feast or famine with either one, like, some days it's a revolving door with zoning things, and other days, I'd like to spend more time on Blight, but, I think.
That's
it's just-
code, right?
Yeah.
And like today, he came in and he had, treasury wasn't here, so he had to answer those questions even though he didn't have answers for it. But also, it's kinda like me when I come in, that you come in to try to do something and you can't because
Yeah.
people come in, and you had how many people here for different things.
I
in
get
the
that on
phone
Thursdays,
calls.
that's why
Yeah.
sometimes I come in on Friday and nobody knows
Exactly,
that way I can
right.
get stuff done.
Yeah.
And that might be an option we have, that we give you one more day, but don't advertise it.
Right.
That way you
that'd
can
be
get
okay
stuff
with me.
done.
And you just make that just a day to do blight, because then you could drive around or whatever, and then
Yeah.
you just
Right.
need to
Yeah.
consolidate to that job a little bit more. Cause the zoning, somebody, you know, he has to be here to be able to approve the permits and stuff like that, but the blight, nobody really needs to be here if he's going around doing the blight, and if so, they could come whenever he's on his
Or
ZA
writing
days
it up.
to talk to.
Blight
Yeah.
inspections.
But
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying,
Yeah.
you
Or
can
make
advertise
Just
2
having,
days.
having more hours
Yeah.
available to do it in would.
And
would
then
be
that
the
third
biggest
day, you can be out in the field, or you can, because people won't know, I wouldn't advertise that
I
day.
got, it. Okay,
Um,
okay.
I know
No,
you're probably
people
still
will-
gonna have some people.
I
Oh,
was
yeah,
saying,
yeah, no,
I've
cause
had
people come in no
people
matter what, you know.
knock on the door on Sunday evenings at 6, 7 o'clock, it's like, well, I've seen a car here, it's like,
Yeah,
yeah, 'cause I'm trying to
yeah.
get a job.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, today was, he was it was very hectic, and then we were getting phone calls, it's like, sorry, Mike, I gotta send this over to you, sorry,
Yeah.
Mike.
See, giving them that extra day, that's enough for, you know, going out for blight, then he'll have to come back and then do office work as well for that. See what I'm saying, like,
No
he's
doubt.
gonna be here at
Well,
some
not
point.
necessarily, he still could do it that day, he don't have to always be out in the field that day, it's just that, you know, it gives him that opportunity, but at least people might not come in because, you know, he could even tell them like, hey, you know, you have to come in on these days or whatever, like, I'm just here trying to catch up on work, you know what I mean, or catch up on his paperwork.
That's sort of, that'd be, like someone walked in, I mean,
Yeah, they should-
yeah,
I
I can't
mean-
be, I mean,
I help them no matter what, I mean.
that's what I'm saying.
Right.
But
Yeah.
they're probably not going to as much if they don't think he's gonna be there, or if it's not during those hours, or if
But
they
just
call
like,
and say.
just like Anita's, you mean, like, you know, on Sundays, people will come and knock on the door
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Yeah, it's not during stuff, you know, answer the door sometimes.
Oh, you don't have to, if not, they just sit there banging on the
Yeah, so
door.
that's what I'm saying, like, they see a car, you know, and then, you know, he sits right there up front, you know, as you
Yeah.
walk in the door, you know, I mean, he's pretty much greeted first.
Yeah, you have to,
You
you
know.
almost get.
I know on Thursdays, sometimes mine's a revolving door, I don't get
Yeah.
Well, that's, see,
anything
that's,
done.
you know,
Having the extra hours to get things done is the main thing.
So how many hours he at right now?
20,
well, then we take that down.
huh?
So then if we
Then
did
we
give
just-
you more
we took
hours,
that down a
would that
little bit.
affect your other,
No, it was 20, he was getting
I'm
like
hoping
100
to
some a month.
drop
right?
down to
Went
working
down
at
to
2
20.
places instead of 4. Well, for three townships, 5 jobs.
Now, that's another question, if we do up your hours, are you gonna be able to work them?
Yes.
Because you just said 3 townships, what now?
Well, I wanna go down to just 2 townships.
So what are you at right now?
I'm at 3 townships and 5 different jobs. Wasn't by choice, it's
I
just
like
kinda,
that, that's,
you know,
that's,
when
if
the
we
hours
had more
got
hours, I
cut.
don't feel that we're gonna get the benefit of the doubt, because you're, you know, you're running ragged with hours.
well, yeah, like I said, I'm hoping to, I'm planning, if this works out, if these hours are available, I wanna give up 1 township.
And not us.
Yeah, not us. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be very happy to go back to just working here and 1 day a week at Exeter. That'll
So
give me the
the-
flexibility to, you know, meet my personal needs and get the work done.
I know the planning commission
I'm giving up a little bit
secretary,
of pay for that
is
though.
gonna help out a lot too, she'd be able to help you.
Oh,
with
that'll,
that
yeah,
planning
that'll
commission
help a
stuff.
lot.
So that's gonna take a burden off of you.
What if we were to figure, you know, to do what you're doing and then hire a code enforcer and split the two positions up?
I would rather just get the hours and work at 2 places. That's, if
And
you're
then you
asking
have
my
to take
preference.
somebody to,
I know what I'm doing there and I just.
Then he
I
doesn't
will
have
know.
to train
Using-
somebody.
You know, that's, he would stay do zoning and then someone else come in and do code enforcer.
So the thing is, if he's
I
trying to
mean,
give up
most
one
people that are
township,
coming in to do code enforcer
if they give
is
him more hours and we don't.
code enforcer.
right, but
Yeah,
they
but kinda-
still have to know the ordinances.
I mean,
Understood.
but the way I'm looking at it is if he's trying to quit one of the 3 townships, and if one of the other townships decides to give him more hours, he'd probably go to those than us, I would assume, so that he could try to consolidate those into one area, so it's basically like, you know, he's kind of probably want more hours, or, you know, I mean, if I was in his shoes, you know, I mean, that's kinda what I would probably.
Are you doing the same thing with other municipalities too? Hey, I need more hours, if I get this, I'm gonna quit.
No,
I
no,
didn't
Well,
say
that
that.
would be
I,
good.
I,
No, no,
I,
I'm just
when the
saying,
hours
I
got
have
cut
those
here, I took another job. I'm not crazy about it, I would rather just, I need the more hours here to get things done and.
See, and my goal is to make sure this township's open every day, and right now it's not.
And I used to help with
Wednesdays,
that.
yeah, Wednesdays, Mike was up here, but now there's nobody here on Wednesday.
I would happily give you Wednesday.
I just feel that we took it down before, and.
I didn't think we took it down, I
Yeah,
thought we
he was,
really approved it. I
he
thought
was
it
getting
was-
hundred hours a month and nothing, you know, we were saying that nothing got done, that's why, you know, stuff wasn't getting done and stuff, that's why the hours had went down, now we're going backwards.
I didn't know the hours really
Well,
went down.
I
'cause
think
wasn't here, I
actually
just-
more's getting done because he's talking to Kerry Bondy a lot more where we never had that before, where he's trying to do these enforcements. He's trying to work with the residents, I mean,
When there's a reason why we took, you know, hours away before, just recently.
Well, the thing
Yeah,
is,
it's
the way that I
not
look
here.
at it is, I mean, there's a lot of blight, and there's a lot of things that, you know, it just seems like everything gets dragged on forever, you know what I mean? So I don't know if it'll help more, I mean,
I
I'd like
know.
to try, I think that if we did, we always could go back
I
the
mean,
other
we can look
direction,
at
but.
his, we can look at his ZA report and say, you know, that's one of the things that we've asked to put like dates when stuff is on there, you know, of like how long these court cases are going, or blight cases and other things that are
I mean,
working with it.
he
Well,
does
I'm
do
just
it.
saying, those stuff does take a long time,
Oh, yeah,
you know, I understand that, okay?
but it really
But
does when you're.
My big thing is this board eliminated hours, now we're gonna add more hours back.
That's the board's option, I mean.
I understand
It was
that.
Yeah.
kind of a
It was kind of
thing
a
to
new thing
see
anyway.
how it would work out.
Because before, there was no cap, so we didn't
Right.
really, you know, we were trying to experience like, okay, what it is, but then we also all agreed that if they did need more hours, that they can come to us and we can do more, but we set it at what we thought was an average or what the, you know,
As a
what,
part-time township,
yeah,
'cause
that's the way I
but
thought
I
of
know,
it.
I know of
And
at
I-
least 4 phone calls that he had today, that people are calling him back. He is trying to work with the, residents, but the people that are calling in to complain, I mean, actually 3 that I know of, that I can name off right now, what they are, and the residents are saying, you're not doing anything, you're not doing anything. He's like, no, I have sent them letters, I'm talking to the attorney, and each one, and the thing of it is, now that summer's coming up, I think people are getting out of their houses more and seeing their neighbors' yards, but, I mean, 3 instances where people were just pounding him, why aren't you doing anything, why aren't you doing anything? And he's like, I'm trying.
So what are the hours that, what more hours are you trying to get?
I think 30 hours would be about
that's what
right.
I was thinking. Good, sir.
As a citizen, I wanted to make a comment. I've seen Mike for other things that I'm working on, and he's been there, he's been helpful. When I came in, there was other people also waiting to see him, so the reason justification for hours is there based on my personal observation as a citizen.
So that would be 30 hours, so that'd be 120 hours a month.
And I'm not in the office, so I can't really, you know, I mean, I'm just.
It was crazy today. It was crazy today. I felt bad.
In some weeks it's not, but most time it is.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm here on Thursdays, sometimes it's a revolving door. I get nothing done, so I come in on Friday,
Exactly.
because nobody knows I'm here.
All I know is there's been times that I've suggested something should be looked into, and he just has not had time to get to it for the one case, a couple of months, and then you finally called me one day and said, hey, I finally got over to check this out. And it was something that was brought to me by, you know, another citizen in the township. And I realized that if he gets to the point he doesn't have anything to do, I don't think Mike's the guy that's gonna sit around and watch the clock to make his pay, but there's definitely things that need to be getting done that he's qualified to do. That's my 2 cents.
The way I look at it is we could try it, if it don't work, then we could, you know, bring it back to the board and say, hey, you know, we're not getting, you know, no more done or whatever, but it's hard to say that without trying it, I guess,
Right.
you know what I mean, or.
You
so
give
that's
somebody
what-
else 10 hours a week instead, then you got a whole different set of things, you have to train that person, they don't know where to look in the ordinance book to do the blight, to do the simple things. They don't understand the history of what's going on with, you know, the things that recurring when he gets a phone call and he has to go check on Ed. You know, he's got the history, he knows what he's looking for and what's different, what's acceptable and what's not. New person isn't gonna be able to do that, like Mike said, you know, a new person could go do the
Well,
blight.
I agree on that, but I wanna look back in my meeting minutes to see why we did take it back, because it was just real recent we did that, and
It's been
that's
about
why.
a year,
Yeah,
almost
that's
2
why,
years.
that's why.
Wasn't that based on the vacation requirement?
It was
It
based
was
on.
partially.
Well,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying, I can't remember off the top of my head why it was.
I personally believe that, I
I-
just was saying,
that's
what
why I
was the
can't-
average person, cause I said, I didn't
I'm
really
not
wanna
saying
cut
Mike
people's a
isn't,
lot,
you know,
but I said I just don't want it
Bro.
where it's just like a free-for-all where
And see, that's
somebody.
what it
Yes.
was, we really had no,
see, that's where I
So
wanna
that's-
So that's
see.
all, that's the only reason
And it
why
was just
I suggested it, you know,
willy-nilly
was just
and-
to try to balance it.
And I think
Cause
they
I
did
don't
one with
know,
the
I mean,
previous
for me, I
person.
can't remember of, was it because nothing was getting done? Or was it because we didn't have this thing? I don't know, I can't remember that, that's why it's hard for me of saying, sitting on this board saying, we did, and we took it away, now we're adding it back, like,
But even if we
I
did-
wanna see what it was because of it. That's me doing as a board member of understanding, not saying nothing against Mike or anything, I wanna know as a board why we did vote this, because obviously it was voted that way.
I can explain that. We voted that way because there was no cap.
Yeah.
But,
So-
okay, I
so
wanna
we-
see
people
my
could
meeting.
work as much as they wanted to, and then the new law went into effect with the time for vacation, sick time.
Yeah.
And it was set on a 30-hour basis.
Yeah.
So we never, when it got to that 30 hours, we never changed it. We never went back to up it to the 30 hours.
I wanna look at my notes of my meeting minutes, that's where I'm at, okay? That's why I'm feeling this way right here.
Okay. And if we do it we would have to do it across the board, because the law says for every 30 hours, you get an hour. So, and right now, it's at 20 for everybody except for election time and tax time. And unfortunately, at that time, it's hard to put a limit on it because you don't know. You don't know.
Yes.
So
you know,
we'll
we
have
talked
to
about
change,
certain set
so we're
hours
gonna
that
have to
be
change
here.
other employees as well.
Yeah, I mean.
So we'll have to bring up that sheet that you had made of like,
Well, no, that has nothing to do with, that's
Cause we're
just pay rate.
consolidating, this is just,
Yeah, that's just pay
hours.
rate.
yeah.
I'll double check that, Mike, but I think it's just pay rate. It doesn't
Yeah.
say set hours or anything like that, it's just pay rate.
Okay.
But I'll double check that, cause that was the wage
Yeah.
resolution that we did.
With the 3% inflation
Yeah.
year or whatever.
Right.
Or
Or
actually,
that-
it wasn't
I-
3%.
It was
I-
cost-
yeah,
It was cost of
living.
living.
Cost of living, but I thought for some reason we put something in there too for the 30 hours, 'cause I think we like went into it, I could be wrong,
I'll check
but I
it.
know that was what it was.
And if we did put it at 20, then I'll bring it back and we'll change it to the 30.
So you just wanna table this until we can see?
No, I wanna make a motion, because if it needs to be fixed, I'll fix it and bring it back. But I don't think, I don't think so though. I'll make a motion to approve all our employees' hours at 30 hours a week, except
All of them or just him?
all of them. The
So what's-
CA, the deputies, and the building.
Everybody at 30? What are they at right now?
20.
So you're gonna bump everybody up to 30? I thought we were mostly talking about, so you think that everybody needs an extra 10 hours?
Sometimes I do, because the building department's the same way. There's hardly anybody in here because she can only work 20 hours. So she can't come in.
I mean, I'm not here, I mean, we just were talking about the ZA.
I didn't know it was everybody too.
I mean,
Yeah, I think
I don't know, I mean, I'm not in there, so you guys know more than I do, obviously.
We
And I
didn't
think
even-
honestly, if we did the 30, that would help at election time and tax time, because that's about average what they do. So if we put everybody at 30, and then we don't have to worry about, it may be over 30, like I said, at election
So
and tax
about our
time.
budget that we just did, will that affect it? I mean, I knew one
Yeah.
person would, oh.
Yeah, we were just sitting here talking about Mike, and then all of a sudden we're getting all in hourly employees.
I just don't know if we should go too crazy with,
All right, we'll start with Mike, and then,
are you gonna maybe up
But-
there just like,
But, but here hear me out.
Have you asked them if they wanted that first? Because they may not have the time.
They may not, but I don't wanna have to limit them if they can.
But also, didn't you say, just say that you had to look to see if it was, we just did Mike, we had to do all employees?
According to the state law, it's hourly employees, all hourly employees, 30 hours, 1 hour.
But I think that they don't have to work the,
They don't have to work the 30
Right,
hours a week.
exactly.
It's just 30 hours, they get 1 hour.
Yeah, but
It might take them
I
2
don't
weeks
think
to
that
get 30
matters
hours.
though, because that's just, I mean, that's just, I mean, that's,
Yeah, no
that's
matter
after
what.
30 hours even combined in 2 weeks, so, right?
It's,
So,
it
Right.
could be a
I
month.
mean, that really, the that doesn't matter at all, that's just kind
But
of.
I was curious, you know,
So you wanna just stick with CA then?
Well,
except for,
I think that, I think that we should at least talk to someone, because if they can't, I don't see why we should, I guess, because, you know, if they have another job and that's all they can do anyway, you know, I just don't, you know.
Or we could say up to
Well, part of the reason they have another job is because they don't have the hours
hours
here.
here.
I mean, some.
Well,
really
I
hard
can,
to get
can I
everything
speak
done
as the
in 20
deputy
hours.
clerk?
Yes, definitely.
I'm with the 20 hours right
Yes.
now. I don't think I really average 20 hours. I mean, thankfully, I'm able to do my stuff at home most of the time. I do come into the office, you know, when I can.
Yeah.
And then, the first Saturday of every month, I'm here in the morning. I don't really see that I'd ever really go over the 20 hours except for at election time.
yeah,
Yeah.
and election time it might be.
So how about-
And
how about we
election
just start
time,
out a little easier?
that can end up being
Election time
really
might be
ugly.
20 hours in one day.
Yeah,
and see, that's,
yeah.
that was part of our thing, what we did was, at election time, they could all go up to that amount.
We could put
So how
it
about
out.
I, like I
But
said,
it's
20
already-
hours could be in one.
That's-
It could be in one day, it could be one day. I mean,
Why
All
don't
in
we,
that sheet that.
why don't we, make it a little easier, I mean, we could, I mean, I don't mind upping some of them, I guess, but why don't we do it like per month anyway, because like if, you know, say the election, they go over a little bit, but then, you know, there may not be as much whatever, maybe if you just made it like an average of a month. I mean, not necessarily,
Set
yes,
a
because.
monthly rate?
Yeah, I think that'd be a little better, because then if they need to do extra work, they might could work a little longer, you know what I mean, sometime. But, you know, maybe give them maybe 25, I don't know if jumping 10 hours, that seems like quite a bit, you know.
Yeah.
Cause really I haven't had too many complaints about any of the other, you know.
Right, I mean, it's
But
just with
I don't-
elections right now, because we have the 9 days of early voting, I mean, literally, in August and November, on those days, we're gonna be here over 20 hours
But I
in one
remember,
day.
I
Yeah.
remember when we passed that though,
Yeah,
we
we added
didn't,
for
we
that.
didn't, the elections, I remember I don't even think we
Exempted
set,
that.
it was like a
Exempted.
couple, and we didn't even
Yeah.
give you
Okay.
guys set amounts.
Okay.
See, that's why I
Election
wanna
and
go, that's
tax
why I'm having
Yeah.
a hard time, because that sheet explains
Right.
everything that's on there, and that's why I would like to see on my notes of like what it was, of why we went from so much to this, and so, cause it was like 2 meetings that we did. Because we went back and changed stuff,
Right.
and then we did stuff for your elections, and then we had, it might have been actually
I
like 3
just don't like
meetings. that
kicking
we did.
stuff down the road longer, cause I mean, it's just.
I know, I don't wanna put it with no.
Yeah, and again,
Let's
like
just grab
this-
it real quick,
the
let me take a
sexton,
minute.
you-
Let's just see, I mean,
The
She
set,
has,
yeah,
like,
I
also-
can't judge
I
that.
think the best way to fix a lot of it would be to make an average. So like, instead of it doing weekly, having a cap, do it a monthly cap, so then if they need to get more done one week because they might be going out of town or whatever, they can kinda get caught up. They don't have to be consolidated right to those 30, you see what I mean? So they might could work a little bit more, you know, maybe 5 or 6 hours more one week or whatever, or a couple weeks to try to make up if, you know what I mean, yeah, I mean, if they aren't there, they might have somebody cover them, but still, you know what I mean? Like, at least they got their part done that they need, that nobody else might.
Yeah, I still wanna see like in my notes of why we went from so high down to not
I don't
hardly
think that
anything.
we did though, I think that all we
Yeah,
did was
we
just the
did.
cap. You know,
Yeah.
I don't think, we didn't cut anybody's hours, 'cause that was one thing whenever
Wait,
that was,
what happened, Mike?
My recollection is that, the vacation thing came up, we did have more or less unlimited hours, even up to 40.
yeah, we did have
And-
unlimited.
And I think, everybody looked at the blackboard, which in my case was just office hours, not actual hours. And they figured everybody was at 20, and there was some haggling back and forth, it was 20, 25, and you settled on 20.
But
And,
I do remember saying, I don't wanna necessarily
I know
cut
that we had
people's,
a
I
couple
go, I just
meetings,
want it
we
where
had a
it's not
couple meetings
unlimited.
about it.
What
You
was
know,
that?
we did have a couple meetings about that, cause we changed it, it was,
Oh, yeah.
you know,
Doesn't that impact your budget?
Yeah.
A lot, yeah, that's why
I mean, if
I,
we
I,
did like
I'm
one
all
person,
about people getting
but-
raises when raises
but
are
the
due,
thing is, the way
but
that
it's
I-
like, I wanna look at why we did this
yeah,
to now, and because the election stuff is covered, I know for that.
Right.
fact.
Thanks.
But why we did that, now we're moving, we just approved, I mean, tonight, we just approved our minutes from closing the books. We would have to go back and do it.
See, we didn't put in here on the, how many hours each person has to work. I think I did that as the supervisor, I chose to cut the hours. I don't think there was any, all this is wages, that's all this is.
Right, and the cost of living went up by 2.5, I believe.
all I know is I definitely didn't mention anything about amount of hours, cause I'm not here, and I said that even then, so I
Yep.
know I did not say one word about hours. All I asked was that we just had a cap, so that it wasn't a free-for-all, so that somebody all of a sudden don't come in and say they got 50 hours or whatever.
Right.
I'm not saying it would happen, but I was just making sure it couldn't happen.
See, and I approved the timesheets for the zoning and building. The deputies are approved by their direct supervisor, which is the treasurer and clerk. So I look at the hours. And that's why I thought, because it was just getting excessive, it's just way a lot. And so I cut it back.
And just so
But I may have
everybody,
cut it back way too much.
everybody knows, there was a 2.8% cost of living January 1st, 2026, and it's everybody but the board.
I think we update these
Yearly.
each year, yes, we're going to next month, we'll be updating this, and then you'll be getting a raise at that
So-
point.
No, it's for
You don't
January
have to
1st.
update it, it's in here yearly federal cost of living.
Yeah.
Yeah, but did it automatically go up for you guys then?
No, not us. not-
Well,
That-
I take that back, but I meant like,
Yeah,
For
you guys in
everybody's
the office. I
January
guess.
January
first,
first, it went up.
Yeah,
But we, that's why we included in there, so we don't have to go
Wait, I
back.
thought you
Well, I
guys,
for one
you
vote
guys
for
were
a board
a part of
increase
it.
too.
You guys got the,
I looked,
yeah, we made sure, yes, you guys were also, because that was the whole purpose also.
See, I didn't see that
Oh,
on here,
yeah,
so.
it is.
see, and ours had to be done by
It-
resolution, the board
Yes.
has to
I
be
think
done by
we-
resolution.
Yeah,
I
but
We
said
did
I
not
didn't want
include
it,
that.
I said, as a trustee should
Us
have.
three,
So
But
I
then-
remember clearly that too, because that was another reason, because the reason why everybody got mad about your guys' raises, because it didn't happen for like 20 years
Yeah.
or whatever. And I said, well, that's stupid. If we just did cost of living and it went back, if you rotated it back and did the math, it would have been about equal to what you guys are making now. But when all of a sudden you say, oh, we're getting an extra 10,000 a year, whatever, everybody's like, oh no, yeah. But they don't realize over 20 years with the cost of living adding up.
see, that's
So
how we
that
figured
was-
it up, but we did it, going forward, we didn't include cost of living.
I thought for sure we did.
No, I pulled them,
No,
I
no,
pulled them,
yeah,
our
I said no.
resolutions are just the flat rate, we didn't include cost of living.
It was supposed to.
Like I said, I wanna
was
go
definitely-
through my notes.
Because it was
on-
supposed to
on very
simplify
tight.
it across.
Cause this
the-
is when we did it,
So
it was
that nothing
February
gets
10th.
stuck behind.
See, and
or
we
gets-
can't, our raises cannot be included in this, ours has to be done by resolution.
Yeah, but I thought we had it in a resolution.
We did have a resolution, and Anita and I checked it, it does not say anything about
Well, I
cost
think
of
that
living.
should be brought back up too, because I think that instead of giving you guys raises so much, if you just do the cost of living, then you guys would stay kind of in line and, and it'll kind of balance out. Yeah, maybe 30, 40 years, maybe at some point you might need to readjust it, but at least for the most part, it's gonna go in line. Why should you guys, when the cost of living goes up, you guys stay the exact same for 10, 20 years, then all of a sudden do it, and everybody gets mad, you see what I mean?
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
I say we revisit the whole thing again, and to see what it is.
This,
We was paying everything, yeah.
why do we have
Well,
to
not
revisit it?
this.
Well,
is
this would
pay.
be for resolutions and stuff like that.
This
For-
So not for, this is
This
everybody
is
but
everybody's
us.
pay, we just did this in February of 25.
This is everybody but us. Everybody gets a cost of living, which just started in.
I think that this is separate than this, but I think that we should bring this back up
Yes.
at the next
No,
meeting.
that's what
That's
I.
why,
Cause I think that you guys should have cost of
Well,
living,
ours-
not
ours-
necessarily in this, one, I
ours would
take
be
that
res-
back, but
yeah,
your
I was
guys,
gonna say, we can't.
the resolution, I meant, sorry, but that's the one I meant, but
So
either way
the
though,
resolution for the treasurer,
I think that we should,
supervisor, and clerk.
but I also believe that if you print this off, I think that you should have probably up to hours probably on it, because how does anybody, where's the paper at saying how many hours is the cap?
We
You see
never
what I
had
mean?
any cap.
Well, yeah,
Yeah, because
this
that's what
is-
we have right now.
We do now, but we didn't to begin with.
Yeah, I
That's
get
why I
it,
put a
but,
cap.
but where's that at, like on paper, you see what I mean, it's almost like, just like an agreement.
See, that's
Actually,
where I-
this is-
that's
this
why
is-
I
this
wanna
is
go
not-
back on my
This is
meeting
not
notes.
hourly people except for
Yes.
election workers and sexton, so this isn't even our.
No,
Well, maybe not this, either way though, I think that like the other sheet should have it, just like this says $50 per meeting, like, you see what I mean, like, per hour up to X amount of hours, so then if somebody challenged it, you could say, oh, you know, that's a part of it, you see what I mean? I don't know about necessarily on this one, because election
We actually
workers,
need to add the building and,
I
I thought we did.
hold on.
We
Yeah,
should
this
have a
might
newer
not
one
be
than
there.
this, cause I thought we did.
Yep.
yeah, because
We forgot to put the building and zoning in here, and I think I added that.
But I think it would be a good idea to simplify if we just wrote the hours. I think that if we are gonna go up, I know that there's a lot of work he could do, so I don't mind giving him the 30. The other ones, I mean, you might wanna start out a little easier, like 25, mostly for the budget purposes, so that we don't start getting,
We can leave them at 20.
I mean, if they want, I mean,
I'll
or
talk
if
to
you,
them,
if
we'll
you,
leave them at 20 for now, but I'll talk to them. Dawn, you feel okay
I
with
would be
20?
fine with 20, because like I said, you know, I don't even think I get 20 hours a week right now for the deputy clerk.
well, if we're gonna do that, I think that we should at least do it on a month basis then, so then if she does happen to need to work over, like the
Well,
cleanup or whatever, you go over
Well,
5
that's
hours.
that's the sexton stuff, so,
Oh,
you know,
okay.
that's a
That is the
different,
same
that's a
one I
different
have.
job, so.
That's the same one we
And,
have.
and the sexton, I can't really say, you know, I don't even think I work 20 hours a week for that. But there's times where I do because of the cleanup, because, I mean, there was one week not too long ago, I had 4 burials in a week. So that takes time and, you know, so the
That's
sexton, I can't really say, I'm gonna,
yeah, but that's under your sexton.
I could
Right,
start with
yeah.
dealing with the
I thought so,
building and,
I thought so too.
I'll look, but I don't know.
I think we should revisit it, but one thing
Yeah.
one thing that I think that we can do a motion for is to up to his to 30 hours. I think we can do that right now. I think you mentioned that motion already. I'll second that motion. Let's go ahead and get that out of the way, but I
And
think
then
that we
I'll
should
look for the
revisit it.
newest one of this, cause I know we added the,
The hourly people.
yeah, all of them. I know.
Make sure you get stuff done, because I don't want anybody else coming and yelling at us for going to 30 without getting it
And
done.
I mean, I oversee what Mike does, so I can keep an eye on it.
But I really think that we should, next meeting, talk a little bit more about it with more time to get it.
So you want me
adjusted.
to bring back the resolutions for the
But-
board's pay, and then I think we've got a more updated one than this one, I'll look.
Yeah, I want it, the board's pay, I want this one, and then we need to add, the ZA would be on that other one or this one? Or the building, with the building
See,
official?
I thought we had the building and
Yeah.
ZA on here.
I
just-
thought so too.
I thought we did.
I think I
So-
updated it, let me look at my, I just
So
quickly.
this is
went
what
in
I
there.
would like to have on there, would be to have those on here, and then at the end of it, I think that we should put a max hours per month, so then if they need to work over 5 or 10 hours one week, they might not work as many the next week, but as long as they don't exceed that, you know, and then you can mention to them over this week on, you know, if they're fine with those hours, if they need more, and we can address at that time. I don't think we need to if they don't need them though, you see what I mean?
Yes, even on the assessor, assistant assessor, we don't even have because she pays.
Yeah, see, I think this is an old one.
Yeah, this
I
is
think
an
we
old
did it
one. I,
later. I just quickly looked. but
Yeah, no, it's fine.
I'll-
I
We'll
was
just-
saying
we'll
like
talk about
payroll,
that
I thought
later.
I had it, I have it on my list outlining that.
So we still have a motion on the board, I
So
second.
you, so Penny and you,
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve the ZA for, do you wanna do a total monthly of 160?
That's what I would say, a monthly.
Or no, it would be 30, 60, 120.
Yeah, 120 hours a month.
I'll make a motion to approve the ZA at 120 hours per month.
And I second
Seconded by, so approved by Turner, seconded by Howard, all in favor?
Would that be a
Well-
roll call?
that. Yeah, you do a roll call,
Okay.
for sure.
Supervisor Turner?
Yes.
Clerk Strad, yes. Treasurer Bochamp excused. Trustee Howard?
Yes.
Trustee Pankowski?
no,
Motion carries. And I will get those resolutions and make sure they're on next month's
Yeah, we'll get it straightened out.
Even if it's, I might just put it in your packet, if I find that this is already done, I'll just put it in your packet
And
so
with
you
you
have it.
guys, I really think
Yeah, I
we should
can
do the
look back
cost of
too,
living.
'cause
I don't,
I've got all my packets too.
I mean, do you see an issue with that, Mike, to add the cost of living for the
For
clerk and all of them, really, because otherwise what happens, they get dragged down, and then whenever they go,
yeah,
it just
because
seems
like
so
a
much
bigger
worse.
raise, I see that.
I don't consider it even a raise, that's not a raise.
Yeah, I know, it's.
That's just,
I know.
it's just not
Look
getting
like
less
gas
money is
prices
what
are.
that
I
is,
mean,
that's
I
just
don't
saying they're
live
not
in
making
that
less
way.
money next year, that's
No, I-
all, that's the way I'm looking at it.
Alright, I will update those resolutions and bring them to the board.
You just find them, not update them, right?
Well, we'll have to update them because they don't, if, I'll bring it to the
Oh, yeah,
board to
yeah, yeah,
discuss.
yeah, yes, there you go.
Because right now it doesn't have cost of living. Okay. I'll put that for next month. Number 3, flags for veterans at cemeteries, this is Dawn.
Yes, that is me. Memorial Day's coming up very quickly. I did reach out to the Milan VA to let them know how many flags we're gonna need, and they don't know if they're gonna be, how many they're gonna be able to supply to us, if any at all. I've got to call down to Monroe to see if there's any other place, because usually the veterans usually supply the flags for Memorial Day for the veterans. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get them, so I've been kinda looking online. At the most, it would end up costing would be about $450 to supply the flags for all of the cemeteries.
Are those made in the USA?
Absolutely, they have to be. By law, they have to be.
Did you try the, Ann Arbor VA?
I have not tried Ann Arbor. I've got to call down to Monroe, but I can try Ann Arbor.
Try Ann Arbor.
Okay,
It's bigger.
okay.
And a lot of the VA members that live in our community use actually the VA in Ann Arbor.
Okay. Yep, I'm hoping that, I'll get them supplied to us, but in the off chance that we don't, I don't wanna wait until next month and say, hey, we gotta order them, and then we can't get them in time for Memorial Day.
I think we should just go ahead and get them, and even if we do get some, we could have them here, just.
Do you pull them out each year?
I do pull them out. Last year I did not, because they were getting in bad shape, so I didn't pull them out. But as I'm going through this year, I'm putting in the new markers too.
Yeah, yeah. The ones that they
So it would actually kind of be nice too, I was thinking, to have new flags with the new markers too.
So what's the total cost?
$450.
Oh, $450.
I make a motion to approve up to $500 for flags for the veterans for the cemetery.
I'll second that.
Moved by Pinkowski, seconded by Howard, roll call please.
Supervisor Turner?
Yes.
Clerk Strad, yes. Treasurer Bochamp is excused. Trustee Howard?
Yes.
Trustee Pankowski?
Yes.
Motion carried.
And I did include a little bit of, extraordinary budget, so
Okay,
just stuff.
okay.
Second citizens time, anybody?
I would like to thank Trustee Howard and Fairway for the dumpster for the cemetery cleanup. That went very good. The only problem we had was you had the extra covers, and it didn't make it very easy to
I'll
put
try to
the,
bring in open top.
Yeah,
Sometimes
that's
the open
fine.
top's better, sometimes it's not, 'cause if it's windy, the stuff will sometimes just blow out.
yeah, well, with the big grave blankets, it was kinda hard to put them in there, but
And
I,
Ron Shore.
I'm
If
sure,
you're
well,
buying me- if you're
my,
buying me next year, I'll bring you an
I
open
will.
top,
I will,
or a
yeah.
roll-off.
I had my son crawling in there trying to pull them down, so it was good, but it worked out good.
At least it's not
Don't allow
super
grave
garbage.
blankets anymore. Is that something we might wanna consider, cause I know a lot of cemeteries don't allow grave blankets. Because of-
We don't really have that many.
Okay.
There,
Dawn would be sad if she can't make families.
well, I was sad because I didn't make one this year, but we really, this year, I think we probably I don't even think we had a dozen of them.
Really?
Yeah, there really was, I think people's really cut down on grave blankets, but the ones that they have, I mean, there was one that was, literally probably 5 feet wide and 6 feet long, and it was huge.
For
So,
one grave?
for one
If
grave.
that happens, you
Yeah.
can just leave it up top, you don't have to do it.
Hey, we got it in, my son had fun doing it, so.
Anybody else?
I was just gonna say the planning commission or planning board did a great job on the, data center, ordinance draft. And, they took the time, had good discussion, good teamwork.
just wanted to say thanks for approving a few more hours for Mike to get things done. I think that's important. Been a lot of things go on, and when he gets drug away to go to court, granted he was on the clock at that point, but then that means that's hours he's not here doing what the rest of us need, and that was, as far as I'm concerned, a frivolous lawsuit to start with. So, and I, rather than 30 a week, I think it's excellent to go to the, I don't know what Mike says, but the per month, that way if he's gotta be gone a couple of days, he can work, you know, he can work more one week and 10 less the next week. And that's what we need when it comes feast or famine. We need our employees to be available when there's work to do. And I also think it's a good idea to maybe have a day that you don't tell everybody that you're gonna be here. That way you have days to go drive around the neighborhood and look at what the complaints are.
Write up all the complaints.
Right.
So,
See, that's what I come in on a day, I don't know, it's not that same day every week, sometimes I'll come in
Right.
the evening or
I've been here at midnight before, just to.
just scary and you
get things
don't
done.
find yourself at night.
oh yeah.
Don's scared to do.
Makes this, I'm telling you, this building makes some
There's
serious noises.
some really weird noises in this place.
Yes, there is. Okay. Gary, got anything? Mike? Nope. Anita?
Just a reminder about the May election and the Saturday before. Even if you are not voting, if you're not in the Dundee School District, you can come in and if you need anything notarized or make sure you're registered to vote. We've been having some people complaining that they go down to the Secretary of State, and it was two people here on Tuttle Hill Road, that the Secretary of State was showing that they were in Washtenaw County and it's south of us, and I know who the two people are, and it looks like we are fine with them being able to vote in our township, but if you have any questions, we're able to figure out who they need to go to, and it's kind of just weird, I mean, because again,
Sounds like
it's two people south of here, they're next door neighbors. Secretary of State was showing that they were Washtenaw County residents and not Monroe County. So we'll try to figure it out with them.
Maybe they not change it, or maybe this.
No, because they've been here for a few years, there's new houses down here, but they've been here for a few years, and both of them have, done elections, it's always been Monroe County. They went to renew their licenses, and they're like a month apart, and Secretary of State's saying that they're Washtenaw County, and they said that they have to go to the post office say, you don't know nothing about it. And I was able to get the right phone number, and I have it on my desk that who they need to get a hold of is Secretary of State though, so.
Yeah, that actually happens to me with our registration for our cars.
Me too.
Yeah,
They
they always
Washtenaw.
print it out as Washtenaw, and it's like we're clearly not Washtenaw.
Yeah,
And they say, go to the post office says, that's not us, so you just gotta call Lansing and,
yeah, so I've got the numbers and stuff, so if anybody has any
All the
issues,
technology
you can.
that they've had
It's,
now,
I
it's,
know, yeah.
Yeah, I've actually gone in several times, Secretary of State told me. What's weird is they'll fix it for like 1 year.
yeah, and then the
it's
next year.
back to
It depends on if I go to Monroe or Temperance. If I go to Monroe, it's always wrong. If I go to Temperance, it's right.
That's just weird because it's all the same system.
Yeah,
As I was telling the people, we get our information from the Secretary of State.
yeah.
So how can it be wrong?
I guess the last thing would just be, about the cleanup days.
I was just gonna mention that. Our cleanup reminder is May 9th, 9 to 3. We will have tires. We'll have one trailer for tires. I only got one this year because it's been slowing down, which is probably a good thing.
How many tires?
I have no.
What kind of tires?
We can't have, semi-tires.
And tractor tires.
Are rims okay on the tires?
Yes. Rims are okay, semi and tractor tires.
Can't bring semi or tractor tires.
We won't take.
Sure wish they did.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know what the
I
heck
know,
we're
I
supposed to
have
do.
a hard time too.
You might check, Monroe County, because they got.
Passenger car tires, I called them because their day is, I didn't put it in my phone. I'm not even sure they wanna take big pickup tires, like tires off our heavy duty, my super duty trucks. They want passenger car light truck, that's all they want.
Pay like $15 each tire to get it up, I believe. I think
It's
Don's
crazy.
Tire will take them.
I think we should just use them as O-rings when we start to burn brush fires, but that may draw attention too.
Just at night on a rainy day.
O-rings and go-go juice makes brush piles go fast.
Also, I will remind everybody, our park days are May 28th, 29th, and 30th. I would really like to see the community come out and support that and help us build it. I'd also like to see our board members and commissioners. It's a community project. I worked very hard to get this park grant, and
Yep.
I would like to see community involved. So, again,
That's a cool
28th,
idea.
29th, and 30th.
Cause we'll have,
Oh, 28, 20.
we'll have one more work week too, right?
Yeah.
Are those during the week or?
Thursday, Friday,
Friday,
Saturday.
Saturday.
Saturday is the big day, that's when we need the most help. The first 2 days is just sorting through materials, dividing it up, sorting it in piles, that kind of thing, so we actually need to make sure everything's, I'm still waiting on DTE. I had somebody that was gonna bury that line, but now DTE has given us some, so I don't know if we're gonna be able to do that or not.
It's gonna be right out there.
There's paperwork I had to fill out, and it's too bad, an old lake.
Why? DTE don't necessarily have to do with that, do they? That don't go
It's
straight from
their-
the line, does it? No, that
No,
comes
it
from
goes
here.
and I'm trying to explain, it's from the building to that building.
Yeah, but that's
It's not a main line, but
no, that, I don't, what, did you have a contractor say that, yeah, time DTE?
no,
I don't think
DTE.
DTE, no,
No.
they're thinking that's your main line, they think
Yeah.
that's the,
Main-
so when, right when you go to your meter, that's the only one they're in charge
Yep,
of.
And then
they may help
meter
beyond the
panel.
meter, but they're not responsible beyond the meter.
Yeah, and that's beyond the meter, because the
Alright.
meter will go
So
there,
they-
and then it's going there.
They may
after.
help us out being a township, they
Well, I
may
had a
offer to help.
contractor that's gonna do it,
Yeah, that's all you have to do, just have him
Yeah.
do it, that's it.
but DTE, cause he said, well, can you call DTE to make sure, and maybe I misspoke myself, maybe I need to clarify that more.
Yeah,
That it's
because-
not a,
Yeah, say it's coming from the panel
Yeah, exactly,
to out
to another
yeah.
panel, to a
yeah,
sub panel.
to a sub panel.
Yeah.
panel to a sub.
They just wanna make sure it
Or
works
panel,
really
main
good to the
panel,
meter.
Denny?
Yeah.
Main
That's all they
panel,
care
sub
about.
Yeah. And then the other part is just getting it inspected.
Okay, I'll
And our
check on
building
it.
Yeah.
inspector could inspect that,
Yeah.
going from there over.
Correct.
Okay, but yeah, so I'll get back with you, Daryl, on that, so that I can give you a definite answer on when they're gonna do that,
Okay.
so we can get started. And I did talk to them about moving that sidewalk, they have no problem with curving it, but it does have to go on that side,
Okay. So yeah, it can't come in straight because of the way it's designed.
because of the way it's designed, yeah. All right, I'll make a motion to adjourn at 8:53.
Second.
Moved by Turner, seconded by Pinkowski, all in favor?
Aye.
Right.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thanks, everyone.